Hello, 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 hello. How are y'all doing? Welcome to a new series on the channel. I'm gonna call it Rapid Reviews. It's like it's a work in progress on the title, but essentially the gist of it is I'm going to come up here, uh, review a movie, a TV show, video game, anything that I really like or watch that I feel like sharing my opinion on. Um, and condense it down into a little 5-10 minute video that's gonna be a review. Uh, yeah, that's basically the whole synopsis of the series. And as you can see on your screen, the first movie is gonna be Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm gonna make it a spoiler-free review since the movie just came out. But if you want a non-spoiler review in the future, just tell me. Or not. I don't care. Either way. This video is going up either way, so. Yeah, non-spoiler review of Thor: Love and Thunder. Here we go. So, this movie is... It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I will say, I thought it was going to be my movie of the year. I don't know if it is. To be fair, I've only watched this movie once. Right? I only watched it today. So I'm not 100%, I'm not 100% concrete on every single thing I'm going to say. I might watch it again later and think something different of it. But for right now, I really like it. I really like it. I guess to go into non-spoiler territory, I would say I really like the villain. Christian Bale did great as Gore the God Butcher. He did really, really good. Like, he was so good. To be honest, he kind of stole the show for me. Like, man, like I the only criticism I have of this movie, well, there's a few, but I think the biggest one that I have for it is, man, like, Gore should have got more screen time. Like, he really should have been. They should have pulled an Infinity War and really had Gore be like sort of like the main character and the main villain at the same time. You know what I mean? That's what I really think they should have did, to be honest. Like, cause he stole the show from me, man. Like, he was menacing, he was creepy. I mean, there was this one scene where he was talking to a whole bunch of kids, and like, he was. I mean, it's that this is kind of a spoiler, but not really. Like, this what it is. But like, he was just like creepy. Like, his mannerisms, his design was creepy. I know a lot of people were like hating on the design because he didn't have the tentacles on his head, but you know what? You really don't even notice it. You really don't even notice it. Like, he's fine. He's fine. He looks really good in this movie. Yeah, I just wish I had seen more of him. They really should have made it his story with Thor as a cameo, and not as a cameo, but you know what I mean. Basically, how they did Thanos in Infinity War. But speaking of that, there goes into the other aspect of this movie, which is the two Thors. Jane Foster is the mighty Thor in this movie. And you know what? She does pretty good. I can tell she was having fun with the role. Yeah, she did really good. It's hard to like talk about without talking about spoilers. Which I might like film this and then add like a spoiler section at the end. But yeah, I liked her as Mighty Thor. I liked her as Mighty Thor for sure. And that also leads into Chris Hemsworth, you know, the man, the myth, the legend as Thor himself. He was funny in this movie. He was funny as always. And I really like the relationship aspect between Thor and Jane. throughout the whole movie. That was sort of the whole thing. Like the whole gist of it was basically love, and that love heals. That was basically the gist of it. At least that's what I got from the end. Um, yeah, that I really liked the both of them together on the screen. They had great chemistry, and even though it kind of got rushed, it didn't really feel out of place to me, at least. And you know what? Speaking of rush, that's another criticism I have, is that the movie was really, really fast paced. Like really, really fast paced. Like it felt like they were going, like it felt like some scenes were just sped up. Um, like the Guardians of the Galaxy are in the beginning of the movie. They're like in the first 10 minutes, you don't really see them again. Like it's just they could have spent more time on a whole lot more stuff. Essentially, I feel like they try to cram a bit too much in it. Not in the not in a sense of they're trying to set up all these different movies and plots for like the next movie or show, but in the sense of it seemed like they were, I don't know, it just seemed like it was fast paced to me. It seemed like it was a bit fast paced. But yeah. I know I said in the beginning this is gonna be spoiler free, but I lied. I'm going to add a warning right here. This is gonna be my spoiler part of the video, so yeah. 3, 2, 1. If you're still there and you haven't watched it, it's your fault. Alright, here we go. Spoiler time. So, one thing I did not expect at all, at the end of this movie, Jane dies. I didn't expect that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she has stage 4 cancer, and basically Mjolnir, how did you say that thing? It's like calling her, right? And calling her from New Asgard, which is a tourist spot now, by the way. Calling her all the way from Asgard because she has stage 4 cancer. And turns out, before, Thor had basically told Mjolnir, hey, you know, like, make sure you keep Jane safe like this. Like, keep her safe and stuff. And we see, like, this little room get etched into Mjolnir. And, you know what happens with it. Hela breaks it. And it's, like, in a museum in New Asgard. And it's calling Jane. So she goes to New Asgard. And it just starts to form together. And Jane picks it up and becomes the mighty Thor. Pretty interesting concept that when she basically loses the hammer, she loses her power and she's just a regular person again with stage 4 cancer. And what we find out later is that her being in her Thor form is like draining all of her mortal energy, right? It's draining all her mortal energy to be in a Thor form, which is basically accelerating the cancer. So it gets to one point in the movie where they're like, "Hey, if you pick up that hammer again, like you're gonna die." And she does to save the day, and she's gone. Like she's really gone. She's went out to Valhalla. She met Idris Elba. And that was it. Like that was the end of the movie. She was done, bro. I thought for sure she was gonna last a few more movies. I thought she was gonna like kind of take the mantle, but I guess that's not the direction they were going. But I think I really like, and this is why I say that I really wish they spent more time on Gore, because at the end of the movie, this probably my favorite part was the end. Gore gets to eternity, which is this thing in the center of the universe, this being, you can get to him and he'll grant you a wish. And Gore gets to him. Originally, of course, his wish was going to be to wipe out all the gods, but he sees how valiantly Thor fought with Jane, and he's caressing her just like how Gore caressed his daughter before she died. And Thor's just like, look, I mean, you won, you do whatever you want, but I choose love. I'm gonna go be with the person I love if I'm really gonna die right now. And you can choose love too. Like, you can bring your daughter back. You don't have to wipe every god. And Gore's all just like, well, I mean, I'm about to die anyway. Jane looks over to Thor, and they kind of give each other a nod. And I think Gore kind of realized, like, yeah, we'll take care of her. So he goes over to Eternity, listens for his daughter back. He meets her one last time, and he's like, yo, take care of my daughter. And in that moment, Jane dies as well. It's a pretty touching moment at the end of the show and in the movie. And at the very, very end of the movie, we see that Thor is now Uncle Thor. He's raising Gore's daughter. And they're going across the universe, saving people who need to be saved. And the people in the new universe know them as Love and Thunder. It's a nice little ending. Now I want to see more Love and Thunder adventures. That needs to be like a little TV show or something. I will watch that. That's a cool little TV show that you can make. But yeah, really liked it. I liked the movie. I really did. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it was better than Ragnarok because of pacing, certain little things. I feel like the story could have been a little bit better between Thor and Jane. Feel like it was rushed just a tad bit. Feel like they could have spent more time on Gore. But other than that, and there were some areas where there didn't need to be comedy and they had comedy in there. But that's my only gripe with the movie. It was still a funny movie. It was still a fun movie. It's still a great movie. I would watch it again. It's got two goats in it that scream. And that was literally the funniest thing ever to me. I don't know why. Yeah. Good movie. Good movie. If I had to give it a rating, I would say like a 7.5. I'd give it a cool 7.5. Maybe if I watch it again, it'll turn into 8. But for right now, I'd say 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 is good. All right, well, that's the first episode of Rapid Reviews. This review isn't really so rapid. I've been recording for about 13 minutes. No, this is Black Man Rambles. Black Man Rambles. You know, the first thing I ever recorded was Black Man Rambles. All right, bye.